Hello everyone. Some of you are going to be confused. Some of you are looking at this and thinking, hey, Adrian's doing a game video. Doesn't he have another channel for that? And I do. This isn't really a game video. This isn't a funny video. This isn't a rant video. This isn't a random thoughts or suggestions video. This is actually something, I'm doing something quite different. It's not even really a vlog. I'm just, got an idea in my head and I need to record it, even though it's not going to be interesting to anyone. And it's going to be very personal. It's going to be quite nostalgic, possibly quite emotional for me. But let's just do it. Gauntlet 2. This video isn't really about Gauntlet 2, but Gauntlet 2 fits in the middle of what I want to talk about. So I'm going to start playing and start talking while I'm doing it. So let's go. Alright, I'm the Red Warrior because I apparently didn't get to choose. Let me just turn the volume down a little bit because it's a bit too loud on the TV and you might catch it through this microphone. Gauntlet 2. I actually wanted to talk about the ZX Spectrum version of Gauntlet 2 rather than the NES version. And that might, you might think that's strange because, well, why does the version matter? And actually the version is intrinsic to the story, really, because I'm going to talk about sort of my personal experience with this game. Oh, that's a bit warpy. This emulator is not handling this game very well. Okay, let's just move on. Let's just hope everything's fine for the most part. But yeah, the thing when I was a kid, this video is going to be talking about death. So that's something to keep in mind when deciding if you want to keep watching. When I was a kid, my granddad died. I can't remember how old I was. I was probably in my, about 10 years old, maybe a bit younger, maybe a bit older, I'm not sure. But I wasn't old, certainly. And I can't even remember what he died of, but he died. And we were, our family's got a lot of Irish blood, and so we had a wake. And a wake is basically, it's like a sending off party. Essentially, the relatives all come round and you have food and drink and reminisce and, just kind of try and have a good time. Try and have a bit of a jolly over the fact that, not that someone died, but someone lived, I think that's a good way to put it. And so we were having a wake for my granddad. And, I was still young and I didn't really get death and why, it wasn't really, the whole thing kind of bored me. I didn't really understand why it was important, but, so be it. And so me and my cousin Chris, we weren't down at the party. We were upstairs in, I think, my aunt's room. Or I'm not sure which room, but one of the rooms at my grandma's house, and we were playing Gauntlet 2, 2-player on the ZX Spectrum. This game, the Spectrum version, and I don't remember ever playing it multiplayer like the Spectrum version at all, apart from that time. I suppose we must have done, but I remember it being quite a Like we did play the Spectrum a lot, but I think it was quite rare to have it set up in another room and just kind of out of the way and playing what we wanted to play kind of on our own. But yeah, and it's one of those things that I remember happening, and I don't necessarily remember all the details because it was so long ago, but it's a good memory for me. What little of it I do remember. Just sitting up there playing Gauntlet 2 with my cousin. I never had a brother. My mum did have another son before me, but he died before I was born. But hey, remember when I said this was going to get personal and be all about death and stuff? Just reminded you. I did warn you about that, but we were up there playing Gauntlet 2 and we were having a great time. We were having a blast. And then my aunt came up. And she had like a fizzy drink, not a fizzy drink as in like cola or lemonade, but it was Andrews, which if you don't know what that is, it's like a stomach-soothing drink, and she demanded we drink it, and she wouldn't say why, and we weren't sure why, but okay. And later we found out it was because on some of the chocolates that we'd got for the wake by Terry's, the company Terry's, there were coffee mites all over the chocolates that we'd eaten when we were downstairs before. And so she was frantically going around giving everyone Andrews to drink to try and make sure that they were okay, despite the fact that they'd just eaten spiders. I think coffee mites are technically spiders. I'm not sure. Anyway, so that was kind of weird, and we actually, I technically wound up on television because of that. Not like live. They did do an interview with me for the news, but in the end, they just used a photo of me zooming like on a nightstand, presumably because when they asked me if has it put me off chocolates, I just kind of said, well, maybe for a little while, but I'm sure I'll be fine. And that's not what they wanted. They wanted me to say, no, this has put me off. Oh, it's terrible. Oh God, I never want to see another chocolate again. They've got spiders on them. No, that wasn't really me. I was never the kind to get easily put off things by one experience. That's not how it works. But yeah, so that's kind of one of the ways that I want to remember my cousin, because as we grew up, that we sort of drifted in and out of contact in various ways, but we never really went too far. And one of the things that always linked, always was playing games together. My cousin was the closest thing I had to a brother, and sometimes that felt very real. And I remember when we were a bit older, I used to go around his house and we'd play Amiga games on his computer, and that was fun. And when we were even older and working and things, Nintendo 64, or was it GameCube? No, GameCube. Super Monkey Ball was the one. That was great. We used to, there was us and sort of a second cousin of mine, I think. And we all used to get round to my cousin's house and play Super Monkey Ball, and I was very good at the monkey flying one that I can't remember the name of, but I was good at that. And that's my cousin's no longer with us, same as my granddad isn't. He suffered struggled with mental illness for a lot of his life, and he took his own life. He'd moved away from the family, and was with someone that I don't think quite realised how much support he needed and got from his family while he was here. And we lost contact quite a bit, and I didn't hear from him for over a year. And when I did, it was to be told that he died. And that's not how I want to think about him, I mean, for like a long time after, no, not a long time, but when you lose someone like that, there's a mix of emotions. It isn't just sadness, it isn't just loss, it isn't just hurt, it's all kinds of things. And for a long time, it was, one of the feelings was anger. It was upset. It was it was annoyance. Why did he do that? Why didn't he just talk to us? What why has he done things this way? And it wasn't that alone. That's the thing. It wasn't this animosity, because it was also loss. It was, it's so many things. It's never one emotion, and I think people sometimes lose sight of that. But God, I'm not even paying attention to this game. But he was always loved, and I think maybe he lost sight of that. He didn't sometimes know how much his loss would be felt, and that the things he was going through, that people were there for him. And I think that, and that's no one's fault. You know, sometimes you just can't see it at the time, I guess. But anyway, the point of that was that that's not how I want to remember him. That's not how I do remember him. You know, I remember playing Super Monkey Ball at his house on the GameCube, and I remember playing Gauntlet 2 together at my granddad's wake, and then my aunt running in with Andrews. And that's it. That's all I want to say, really. That's the video. But I won't say I hope you enjoyed it. It's not quite the enjoying kind of video, but that's all I had to say, really. Thank you for watching if you did, and I'll see you next time.